All right. All right, all right. Good morning. How's it going? How's it going? I had to make some coffee a little bit later. Whew. Kurum, Ilari, Lurib, fantastic people. Mr. Panka, Paul Trefau. Well, you see, Kurum, I've always got a beard, so it's like, well, I can't shave. Oh, too bad. Okay. Throw me some topics. Let's do it. Let's do it. I feel like line art. Megasword, Dwarf Librarian, Toad Knight. Already awesome topics. Matronly Monster. That's pretty cool. Good morning, Irish Nonsense. Spam, Dancing Grace, fantastic. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. One more topic. One more. Or is it... No. Come on, one more topic. Or is there only 5? Ogre Bark. Alright, let's go. Number 1. And that is Megasword. That's pretty cool. Megasword. Trefal. Paul Trefal is the winner chicken dinner. Okay. Megasword. That's an interesting one. What can you do with the topic Megasword? Right. Let's do like a I was thinking giving us a huge sword to a goblin. He's kind of like, but let's do something else. Let's do a weird scythe sword, just for the sake of it not being what my first thought would be. And let's give it like a power armor. Let's go sci-fi today. It could be like a mechanical arm there. Let's extend the canvas a bit. So let's like sketch out some general plot marks. And let's make the let's give the sword a saw blade, like a spinning, you know, like a, what's it called? called? That you can saw things with the sword. Why not? Why not? Yeah, buzzsaw. There we go. Today I'm fine. Um, Yesterday we went to my wife's cousin's place. She has kids, almost exactly the same age as my kids, and we went to like a Halloween party, masquerade. The kids, um, the kids were having a blast. They were absolutely loving it. They got to eat bucket loads of candy. They had costumes on, even though like Latvia isn't huge on uh, Halloween. It's still fun, masquerade. Who cares? The kids loved it. It's definitely not the American version, where everyone everywhere is in costume. More or less, it was just us, what we could see on the street. Actually, on our way back, we saw two little girls dressed as witches. But, it's not like in the States. But the kids had fun. My wife, my kids dressed up as vampires. Like my son was Dracula, and my daughter was just like a vampire lady. Um, and my wife, she painted everyone's eyes like black, the darker around the eyes. And we went to this party, and all the kids were like, "Oh, I want also." And so my wife had to sit and paint on all the kids' faces so that they also got these dark eyes. And then one parent or grown up after the other, like, "Can I also have some?" In the end, everyone ended up having like dark painted eyes. Hilarious. But it's fun, it was fun. But like on my Facebook feed, um, like there's so many really cool costumes. People were really putting effort in this year. So so crazy. Good morning, Svensson, and welcome. Um, and for me over here, it just started snowing. Fun. Yay for snow. Hey, to Sparacus. Welcome. You're new. I don't recognize your nickname. Yeah, winter's definitely coming, Lurib. The, they have a storm warning in Sweden, don't they? A class 2. The like legally the school closes at minus 25, I think, or 28, is it? That if it becomes that cold, schools closed. But up to that point, you have to go to school. I think that's the cutoff point. As a kid, I experienced it once that school was closed because it was too cold. And that was like a really cold winter in Sweden. It was like minus 32 or something like crazy like that, 35, I remember. And it was so cold, like if you spat, um, the spit wasn't like liquid when it landed. It almost had time to become ice. But not really ice, but it became like slushy. It was so cold. End start end. I currently live in Riga. Um, so yes, I am in Riga. Lurib, I grew up in a town called Jakobsberg in north of Stockholm, a suburb to Stockholm. Norrup. It's more or less the like, like the armpit of Stockholm. The thing is, like, I think there is a specific time where you have to not go. But if you do go, what can they do? They can't send you back again because that's kind of evil, right? Oh, you came to school. Oh, it's too cold to be outside, so go back outside. Go back home. Oh, and start end. As you say, here in Riga, that means you are in Riga as well. Is that so? Awesome. That's really cool. A Latvian. Problem is, my Latvian is not really good. It's like at the child level. I can talk to kids. I can't have discussions in Latvian. Um, Mostly because I don't use it um, with other grown-ups that much. Like go to work and speak Latvian. I just work internationally all day, so um, I'm not forced to have to use it. But I can like talk to kids and stuff in that sense, um, and can follow up more or less a conversation in Latvian. But speaking is it's not that good. Lurib, I did. My job, the studio is in London. I go there when needed, but day-to-day stuff is from my place, my studio in Riga. I lived in Riga for 3 years, so it's not really that amazing. I should be better at Latvian, but yeah, it's because I'm not forced to use it with other grown-ups in that sense, like going to an office building. But it's pretty okay. So if you ever see me uh, and start and somewhere in Riga, make sure to stop me and say that you're the Latvian on the stream. Can shake some hand. Hello, Labdien. um, I prefer to work from home in the sense that it's handy, but like most of the time, like when I lived in Brighton in UK, um, like an hour with train out of London by the sea. Um, I commuted in, I loved going to like in-house studio as well. It's just ended up being this way, and it works. I love working for Opus. It's a really cool company. You know, we are all working there together. It's cool stuff. And start end. I met like Latvia's most famous kids book guy, Reinis or something like that. I met him in a bar once, um, but that's it. That's the only person I've met in the industry in Riga. I have not met anyone. Actually, I met with like business meeting with two guys doing like a mobile game like 2 years ago or something. But no, that's about it. I have no idea how big the industry is here, even if anyone is in the industry. Um, like I was in FHM in Latvia, like showing my concept art stuff in an interview. Um, but I didn't get any like feedback from it from Latvia in that sense of Latvian people contacting me. So I actually have like I have no idea. Mostly it's just like internationally. Time to do some lovely Liquefy. I love Liquefy. It's the best idea that Photoshop people have come up with. Let's play around with the shape a little bit more. Yeah, Rainis Petersons. Exactly, that guy. We were hanging out in the bar. What's it called? Chomsky. This weird little strange indie bar. I think 2 years ago. Me and a friend of mine, and we were kind of talking and doing beer games. And his friend was like bragging, like, "Do you know who this is?" I was like, "No, should I?" He was like, "Yeah, he's like motherfucking Rainis." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like name dropping him and saying like he's this really good artist. So and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool." And obviously, I didn't like. Yeah, you think you're good at drawing? Look at my drawings. But the the guy I was with, the friend of mine, he was like, give me your phone, Bjorn. And I was like, all right. And he showed him like this is his art. And the guy that was like mad dogging me about Reinis kick-ass art, he went quiet really fast. And then we, ended up spending the, like drinking together all evening. But it was funny. He was like up upping his friend's game completely. Mr. Panka, that's cool. Yeah, they updated that website. I think it did streamline it. I think it was a little bit too complicated before, like you hard to navigate. This new one is a lot cleaner, I think. 8.5 minutes left. Koro, yeah, wrecked. But it was so funny. It's just so random, you know. And we ended up doing like Pictionary and stuff like that, where we had to drink and draw. It was a good evening. And I tried to have him come out for beer, but I think uh, I think he got too busy. I have him on Skype. Sorry, I have him on Skype. I talk to him now and then, but he seems busy. So am I. and me, this other friend, and you probably know this, and start to end, but Prata Vetra, um, the piano player, is part of the family, and me, him, and my friend usually go out and drink. Um, when we do go out, we go out and drink a lot. It's been so many evenings. One evening I drank so much wine and God knows what that I literally crawled to bed. And my wife woke up. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I just said, "Yeah, I'm just so drunk. I can't walk. I walk. I have to crawl." And she was like just shaking her head. She was like, "All right, good night." I fell asleep like halfway to the bed. Woke up a few hours later. Continued crawling. Crawled into bed. But that evening was epic. So much wine that night. Crazy amount. All right. Let's let's do a blocking so we start understanding what's happening here. I got so many drinking stories. I used to drink when I used to drink as a younger man. I used to just do strange things to see what happens. Not like damaging to anyone, but like I remember one time I went out um, alone and saw just this group of guys drinking or like going to a bar, and I said like, "Hi, I don't have anyone to hang with. Is it okay if I tag along with you guys?" They were like, first they just looked at me and went like, uh, but then they said, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I went and was drinking beer with these complete strangers, like around bars in Stockholm, and it was really cool. They ended up knowing the most of the guys for years uh, through it. But I kind of had this period in my life where I wanted to challenge norms and just see what happens if you do stuff that is out of character. Like I was at home at a friend's home. We had been out drinking the night before, and we so like woke up, ate breakfast, and thought like, okay, let's go do something. And we were like, okay, well, what should we do? We can't just go to the same old water hole and have the same kind of pints. We have to do something. And we said, okay, let's go to the north of Stockholm, Sweden, the like the almost like Arctic Circle. We were like, yeah, should we go there? Like, yeah, that's a good idea. And we looked at like the time schedule, and it's like, oh, in an hour the train leaves. We were like, oh, that's cool. All right, let's go to the Arctic Circle. And we went up there, just with the clothes on our back, jacket, stuff like that, and ended up meeting like a couple of girls, and spent the whole weekend up there, like partying with them and stuff like that. Super random weekend. Like we even were in a car crash because of the cars started sliding on the snow. Super weird. Um, Coloring within the lines. It's just, I don't know what you're meaning about my blocking. No, it's just stay within the lines. Makes it easier to see things. Um, when I started to draw, I started drawing more or less 10 years ago. Well, I've always been drawing, but I wanted to get into the industry around 10 years ago, and I got it quite fast. Actually, 12 years ago I started drawing, I think, and within 2 years, or yeah, around 2 years, I got my first contract, and I've been learning on the job, as in while I'm working, I'm also learning, but that's nothing out of the normal. That's standard. Oh well, I have for the blocking, I just put a multiply layer, lower it, and I have this brush that only changes size but doesn't change opacity, so it's easier to like get clean shapes so they're not too messy. All right, that's it. Time's up for today. Um, so tomorrow, same time, um, and the next topic tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. It was a cool topic. Thanks for the topic, Paul. I think it turned out interesting. Okay. First time saving. Bye, everyone. Mr. Bagda, that's good. All right. Thanks, everyone. Um, I desperately need an outro, like, so it doesn't cut off weird. Anyways.